Now Ohtani has a tear in his elbow, and his future is maybe not in jeopardy, but it looks a bit different today than it did 2 days ago.
Not to me.
Why not?
Because I knew all along, I'm a realist, that he was not going to be able to keep doing this. There's no way he could keep on hitting and pitching. Every 2 weeks, there was either a blister or his back hurt or something. He clearly physically could not do this. And guess what? He's the best hitter in baseball by a huge stretch right now. I think this is actually exciting, and I don't think this is going to kill him going into free agency. Because imagine if he could take all that energy that he dedicated to pitching, now he's going to put it into hitting, and he's already the best hitter.
Okay, but you're the best hitter or one of the best hitters in baseball. That's great, but that's not the uniqueness. That's not the amazing feat, the not even once in a generation, once in a lifetime, literally, player.
Right. Like twice
once in our lifetime.
Twice in 120 years, Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani.
Amazing. And without that, yeah, he's still a great hitter, but the Ohtani story doesn't continue in a way that was must watch all the time. Great hitters are awesome, but we have a lot of them right now in baseball. Aaron Judge is a great hitter. Pete Alonso, your boy Bryce Harper, Mike Trout. I mean, Julio Rodriguez. We had a lot of great hitters out there. Ohtani was a class all of his own, right. And if he's not going to pitch anymore, or if his future pitching is in jeopardy, if he needs another Tommy John surgery, it takes an all-time great story and just makes it a good story. I don't feel like I need to watch every Shohei Ohtani at bat if he's just going to be a DH.
Yeah, but I feel like the players you just named are all great players. But Shohei feels a little different to me. First of all, he's fast. He's gigantic. I mean, I know Judge is gigantic too, but he's a lefty. And I just think there's a lot going on with Shohei that makes you think, wow, if he did all that while pitching, can you imagine if he only hit and really focused on that? He might be Babe Ruthian. I mean, he might be the best. He's got the best OPS in baseball by almost 100 points right now. He's so far away. He's also incredibly fast.
Okay, but do we even know what position he would be playing?
He's such a great athlete. And the fact that, so I feel like, man, he is the best athlete in baseball. That's going to translate as a hitter. He's just unique. He's a little more than all those guys you named.
But it already has translated as a hitter. We already know he's great. If he just DHs, is he even going to play first base? Does Ohtani, I don't even know what position he would play. Can he play outfield?
Just DH him. Who cares?
Okay, so that athleticism goes away.
No, but he uses that athleticism to be the best hitter in baseball. I don't know. I feel like
I think you like him because he can pitch too, and if he doesn't do that, he just becomes a one-dimensional baseball, a great baseball player, but one-dimensional.
But pitching wasn't going to happen. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's ridiculous to think that you can go out there every 5 days and be a starting pitcher and then hit every day.
Well, not just a starting pitcher, a top line, front line starter.
To me, it doesn't even matter. There's nobody's arm who can do that, and obviously Shohei's arm could not do that. It was a matter of time before this happened, and we all know it.
What I think is interesting about this is, let's say he does get the second Tommy John, right? And it's a very short list of guys who've been able to come back and pitch at a really high level after the second Tommy John. But you know what? Technology, medical science keeps improving, whatever. Maybe he'll be that guy. But he would be like the ultimate weapon then if you could just, in a playoff series, if he hasn't even been pitching, or pitching very sparingly, could he actually come in as some kind of ringer? I have no idea. Does it mean pitching is totally end? Yeah. All of a sudden it's now warming up in the bullpen. It's whoa, Shohei. So maybe there's still a hope for him. But as far as the amazing history making feats that we seem to be seeing almost nightly, that goes away.
I don't know. I still think he's the number one draw in baseball as a hitter, because I feel
Aaron Judge is up there.
I don't know. I don't see the excitement around Judge. Ohtani seems more new to me, and he's younger than Judge. When he's going to hit free agency at 29, Judge was 31. Judge felt like, even as a hitter, Judge felt like he was breaking down a little bit. I feel like Ohtani, there's just something special there. I mean, first of all, the speed is crazy. He should not be that fast either for a guy who's gigantic. I feel like if he just focuses on hitting, it's going to be incredible. I mean, this year is 44 home runs, 304 average, 664 slugging is huge, over 400 on base percentage, good eye. I mean, he is everything.
So the other big question is obviously the elephant in the room, which is Shohei Ohtani's free agency, which is, again, why I said it was totally flawed that the Angels did not trade him. At the trade deadline, they tried to go for it with him, I guess admirable, but that turned out to backfire because they're not going to make the playoffs. And on top of it, you could have traded him, and if you really were confident you could make a great offer, just sign him back. Like, if he had gone to free agency, you could have had your cake and eat it too. Whatever. The whole system and situation, rather, was flawed when it came to Ohtani. So now the question becomes, let's just say for argument's sake, he really can't be the pitcher that he once was.
Right.
Does that mean more teams will be in the mix or fewer teams will be in the mix for his services? Because he's going to now hit the market as just a great pitcher, or excuse me, a great hitter. So somewhere between $400 million and $500 million. If he was going to be a frontline starter and an all-time great hitter, you're looking at $700 million, $800 million. Who knows what the contract would have been unbelievable. So in some ways, could more teams now be in the hunt?
What's the highest there is right now? 426 for Trout? Something like that? I think Ohtani will be the first $500 million guy.
Even now.
I mean, I think he's obviously like he's chasing Aaron Judge's home run record. He's younger. I feel like people are going to see untapped potential. Shohei's never been a full-time hitter. Can you imagine what he's going to do with that? I think he's going to be the most vaperable player.
But at least Mike Trout plays center field. Yeah, also plays a premium position on defense. I love it. Meh. Who cares?
I don't care. I honestly
and Aaron Judge plays right field and has a cannon for an arm and is incredible in the outfield.
It's really helping the Yanks.
That's the thing. I mean, Mike Trout doesn't help the Angels. He got put on the IR yesterday too, by the way. I
think the value is. I think if he's going to be the best hitter in baseball, I think that has much more value. And I do think that. Honestly, Ohtani is definitely, the upside feels much higher than Trout. I mean, Trout's not going to hit 65 home runs. I feel like this is so stupid, but I think Shohei Ohtani could be baseball's new Babe Ruth. I think he could stop pitching. He was
already Babe Ruth.
No, I know. Babe Ruth stopped pitching and became the greatest hitter in the league. I think Shohei has a chance to become the number one hitter for an 8-year span, which is incredible. He's like he could be Albert Pujols in his prime. I mean, he's by far the most valuable player in my mind to come on to free agency. You've seen guys get over $300 million, the Tatises of the world, who are nowhere, to me, don't have anywhere near this potential, just as a hitter.
Yeah, Tatis was younger and then got busted for steroids, obviously. But, Ohtani is 29. I think this does take a bit of a luster off the Ohtani story, and I'm curious if people agree with me.
Do you think he's worth becoming the highest paid player in baseball?
No, not if it's just a DH. I don't think so. I mean,
what if you stuck him at first base?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, to do something for you on defensively, and then let's see, to have that expensive of a DH. That's like the Giancarlo Stanton story, And Stanton actually did want to play in the outfield when he was with the Miami Marlins. Did because it was the National League, obviously, and they didn't have a DH back then, but. No, I need a little bit more, I think, to be the highest paid player, but that's just me.
He is going to be 2-time MVP coming into free agency. When does that ever happen?
I'd have to think about it.
I just think he's a
Alex Rodriguez, I guess?
Probably. Okay. And who became by far the highest paid player of all time. I think he's going to definitely set the record because I assume he's winning MVP this year. I don't have it in front of me.
He probably should, but what he's doing this year is unbelievable. But I'm curious about what people think about Ohtani's story. Like, are you going to be following him as closely as you would if he's not pitching too?
Does it matter? Are you going to put a caveat? It depends where he plays, or?
Well, I mean, if he's obviously on your favorite team, you're going to watch him.
If he re-signs with the Angels, you're probably not going to watch him. But if he signs with
because no one's been watching him this whole time. No, we have.
If he signs with the Dodgers or sort of a high-profile team, then I think.
Is he still must-see TV, even if he's not pitching? Yeah, Samter shakes his head. I'm with you.
No, if he's not doing both, he's Aaron Judge, he's Fernando Tatis. He's a great hitter.
You're saying Aaron Judge wasn't must-see TV?
Well, they were breaking.
When he was chasing a record, yes, but not on an everyday basis. He's not must-see TV. He's interesting. Juan Soto, they're great players, and I like to watch them when they're on. Ohtani is must see, especially when he's pitching, because when he's hitting and pitching at the same time,
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like The Scout, Brandon Fraser.
One of Samter's all-time favorite movies.
But he's having one of those sort of Barry Bonds years where if you throw anything near the plate at him, I mean, it is fascinating to watch him cover the
Nobody's
plate.
ever had
He's
a Barry
gigantic.
Bonds type year.
No,
Not
I know,
even
but it's like you cannot pitch to Shohei right now, and he's huge. It's a little like Judge last year, but he's a lefty, which makes him much more entertaining.
If Shohei goes to hitting only and starts chasing home run records and hitting 65, 70 home runs and doing things,
which
at the
will
plate
definitely happen.
So, I mean, it seems like it's feasible based off of like how good he is while he's pitching. So if he could start doing that and start breaking records and start doing things that no one's ever seen at the plate, then maybe he becomes must-see TV again. If he's just a really good hitter, then he's not worth $600 million, that's for sure.
But I mean, he's going to be a two-time MVP.
So was Mike Trout. He was a must-see TV.
Yeah.
And again, he was also playing a premium position on defense. I know no one on this show seems to care about that.
But style-wise, you have to admit, though, there's a little
defense
more
in baseball.
It's a little more flair to Ohtani as a hitter than there is to Mike Trout.
Well, yeah, but is there more flair to Ohtani as a hitter than Bryce Harper?
Well, no, Bryce Harper is must-see TV.
Well, that's because you're watching most Phillies games.
But Bryce Harper hits
Pete Alonso is also must-see TV. No, but I'm just saying he has flair as well, if you want to say that.
First of all, I mean...
You just don't want to give a compliment to a Mets player. I get that.
When Bryce Harper hits a home run, the exit velocity is insane because he swings like he's trying to hit the ball 5,000 feet. And when he connects on those rare occasions, it's really entertaining. It's kind of like Griffey and A-Rod had the same numbers, but Griffey was must-see TV and A-Rod was not. A-Rod was like Trout. You know, nobody cared if A-Rod hit a home run when they were winning 8-3.
Stu and Mike did.
But
he was really good at doing that.
You have to admit, like a Griffey home run was the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. There's something
perfect swing.
Yeah, and Ohtani's, it's very entertaining to watch him hit home runs. That's my opinion.
Do we put the poll question out there? Is Ohtani still must watch, or will he lose some of his luster, if you will? We can word that better.
No, I think he'll definitely lose some of the luster. It's matter whether or not he's still must watch.
He still must watch, even if he's not pitching and hitting. If he's just hitting, he's just another great hitter, which is awesome, and that'll get you paid a lot. But it's not the uniqueness.
Yeah, but he's definitely this year. He's the best hitter in baseball. I don't think anyone's even close. This year.
I mean, Judge misses almost 60 games.
Yeah, but I mean, Judge was never going to do 65 again.
He's actually on pace for that again. Can you believe it? If he had not missed all that time, he would have been on pace for 61.
Yeah, but it's
which is wild.
I mean, Shohei's so far ahead of everybody else. I think I looked at the OPS. Mookie Betts is second, and he's almost 100 points behind him. And the speed of Ohtani, you guys are forgetting, this guy is unbelievably fast. If he wants to start stealing bases, too, I think he's a very unique. Also, the guy's finally going to be able to hit. And he's not going to have to worry about all that pitching stuff.
Honestly, I liked it. Well, I liked watching him pitch. I thought that was the more interesting part of him.
Right, but imagine as a hitter if he can use some of that energy and become a 20% better hitter.
I don't know. It didn't seem like he was lacking energy on either side. So I guess maybe he'll be a better hitter. I don't know if that's necessarily for sure. And he seemed to be handling both workloads really well until it caught up with him. Listen, you're right. It was going to catch up with him at some point. It's just a shame that we didn't get a couple more years of him doing this at the top level.
Say you signed him next year and you own the team. Say it was, I'll say, Red Sox.
Yeah.
Would you try and do both?
Well, next year, if he has Tommy John, throw next year off. So 2025.
Yeah. Would you try and say 2025? Right.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm signing him to that deal, I'm still holding out hope that he's going to pitch.
Don't you want him to play every day, though, if you're paying him $500 million? Like, listen, people are buying tickets.
He tore his part of the UCL in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday and then went and DH'd in the second game of the doubleheader. So I think he's amazing. It
is incredible. But also, don't you think people are going to pay to see he can probably win 4 or 5 MVPs in the next 5 or 6 years. That's incredible. I think he's by far the best player right now.
I think the voters he deserves MVP. I'm not taking anything out about that away from him.
This year, no one's competing.
Yeah, right. But if we understand how voters work in all sports. There's voter fatigue. There was something, because Ohtani's story is so incredible, he's obvious MVP.
No.
If he's only hitting,
yeah, I mean, this year's
he's gonna compete with all the other guys for MVP. If they have good numbers.
This year, he would have blown away the field just hitting. Like, no one's even close this year. So this year is off the table. But I don't think
moving forward, he just becomes he's another great hitter.
Right, but if he's going to hit 50, 60 home runs, he's going to be way ahead of the field. they kept, and also they don't get bored of voting guys like Mike Trout MVP. They kept giving it to Trout, and nobody even cared. So I think he has a chance, if he could stay healthy as a hitter, to win 5 MVPs like Trout. Or however, how many does Trout have?
3. 855-212-4CBS. Yes.
Yeah, I bet you Ohtani passes that.